Hey everyone, welcome to our Blender Beginner series. So this whole series is broken up into 6 different chapters. So in chapter 1, we'll look at how to do all the modeling, so taking basic primitive shapes inside Blender and creating more complex 3D assets. And then chapter 2, we'll have a look at how to UV unwrap all of our models so that we can take it into texturing, which we'll cover in chapter 3. Then chapter 4, we'll look at our lighting and our cameras before we start looking at some surface imperfections. And then finally, we'll do rendering and compositing. So there are some resources that you need to download to be able to follow along. So if you click the link in the description of the video, you will find all the reference images we use to actually model everything. There's also a file of all the custom decals I've created that you can use inside the scene, and there's also an ebook that talks through the whole process as well, so you can either follow along to the videos or you can follow along to the ebook as well. It covers the same things. If you've got any questions about anything as you're going through it, leave a comment in the video that you're struggling with, and I'll get back to you. Hello everyone, welcome back to part 9 of our beginner series. So what we're going to do now is model a light bulb to go inside of our lamp. So we're going to come to the front, Shift A, image and reference image. Let's grab our light bulb here. So nice and easy. So we go to Shift A, mesh, and let's grab a UV sphere. Shift Z to go to X-ray mode. I'm going to grab that reference image just to turn the opacity down just a little bit, like that. GZ to bring this up, scale it, like this. And then we're going to go to tab to go to X-ray edit mode, grab these faces and delete them. EZ. So let's not delete all of those ones. Let's grab these ones here. There we go. Then we're going to EZ and bring it down. EZ like that. Let's just bevel along here as well, just so we got that shape a bit better. And same here, let's bevel this as well a little bit just to round that off. So we've got the shape of our bulb. We are then going to grab this edge here and F to fill and Control B to bevel like that. So we've nice and easy, we've got the shape of our light bulb like that. Now we want to do a bit underneath as well, obviously. So we're going to change flat. And what we're going to do is much like with the jar that we did where we added an extra curve, we're going to do that to make our little thread. So we're going to Shift A, mesh, and grab a cylinder. Change that back to 32 because it was 16 from when we did our knife. GZ to bring this into position. GZ. Something like that. Now I'm going to isolate it for a second and just remember we scaled it, so Control A to apply your scale. I'm going to bevel this edge here. Like that. And then we come to the front. EZ. I'm going to scale that in like that. Control B to bevel that round. Delete those faces and grid fill. And then we're going to bevel that a bit as well. So we've got the overall shape of our light bulb. Let's tab to go to edit mode and select all those. And we're going to Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A, mesh, curve, spirals, and Archimedes screw. Radius we're going to bring down quite a bit. Right now. There you go, something like that. Let's change the height a little bit. Do 2 turns like that. GZ to bring that down. And then under our data properties panel, we can add some geometry. Change that profile And there we've got the thread for our light bulb. So we're going to get rid of that reference image. Shift A to go and empty, and then grab a cube, scale the right sort of size. Select everything, deselect the empty, and then reselect it, Control P to keep it. And the whole reason that is that we can scale that down to the right size that we need. Before we do that, we're just going to make a very quick housing for that. So mesh and grab a cylinder. So it's going to be something like that. G, Z, I to inset, E to extrude. Let's just hide like that. And we'll hide, we'll delete that because we don't need it. Grab both of these, Control B to bevel, like that. So let's reparent all of those, like that. Come to the front, bring that over. Play around with the rotation a little bit. Like that, so we've now got our light bulb. Maybe that's a little bit too far out. Is that a bit more like it? Yeah, something. Like that. Okay, so other things we're going to add a quick little shelf along here because we're going to do a little cardboard box with some extra spray paint cans in there. So let's come to the left hand side. Shift A, mesh, and grab a cube. S to bring this down, and we're actually probably going to make it the same height as that little section there. GZ to bring that down. G something like that. Now we want to match that up, so tab to edit mode. Well, we're in vertex mode already, so we can just drag that across just to make sure it lines up. Come to the front, bring the whole thing over here. GX, GX to bring over like that. Now it's maybe a little bit too thick. So let's just grab that, GZ to bring up. And then what we don't want is for it to intersect with the leg, so GX, and it's going to fit in there. Same thing here, GX, like that. And we want to round off those edges. Now remember, we've scaled it, so Control A to apply light transforms, tab to go to the edit mode, 2A, Control B to bevel, and because it's a nice simple shape, we don't need to check anything else, which is just grabbing all of those, something like that. So we've now got our little shelf there. Going to give this a little save. And then think, actually, maybe what we'll do, we'll stop there because I feel like the cardboard box is going to take a little bit longer than adding it on to the end of this video. So let's stop there. And then the next video, we'll do a cardboard box for the paints and then build the rest of our scene that goes along with it. So we're very, very close to being finished. So hopefully you enjoy following along, and I'll see you in the next video.